Hey, what's going on, Blue Crew? It has been a minute. Troy, it's been a minute since we've gone live in the group.
It's been a while since we've both been on here.
Yeah.
So,
I know you.
Long time.
Yeah, I know that you've gone live once or twice. I've gone live once or twice. I think we did that. We had an event here. Was it last month? Or maybe it was last year in Old Town Spring where we were.
Oh, yeah, we did go live there, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, all I know is it's been too long.
It has been a little too long. So there's a lot of new faces here in the group. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been up to, where we are, where we're going. And then we have an announcement to make at the very end. So you want to make sure that you stick around, because I know that there's some topics that you guys are just chomping at the bit.
Itching.
Yeah, you're there.
That itch.
Yeah, like in those precarious places.
And we know the itch is there because we see everything people are posting.
Yes.
Even the things that aren't seen, we see.
And really quick shout out to all of our Rockstar moderators. You guys are doing an amazing job. This group wouldn't be here where it's at today. And can you believe, since it was the tail end of June, early July, when we started this group of last year, we're at 107.1 thousand members.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But, it's not only the numbers of the members that encourages me. It's the family.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge family. It has become a huge family. And just the positive, the encouragement, the building up of one another, I just think it's incredible. And it's been needed for a very, very long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
So kudos to all of you for becoming part of the family. So.
Yeah, welcome. This group, we'll talk a little bit about, and I know you wanted to talk a little bit about why we started Bridge the Blue to begin with. One of the things that we told people in Waco this past weekend is that, this group, we invited them to be a part of this group. We don't allow politics in the group. There's a lot of things that we don't allow. We don't allow complaining, right? We want this place, this community, to be a place where we can build bridges, not walls. And so, Whenever you think about the people that don't support law enforcement, they see all of the negative stuff outside of Facebook, as well as you guys, as well as our Leos. You guys deal with all the politics and everything outside the group. We want this group to be twofold. Number one, we want this group to be a place where Leos can come and relax and get away from all that stuff. But we also want this to be a place where we can all come and see a different side to law enforcement that you're not going to see publicly, right? You're not going to see it on the rest of social media. And so we want this to be a place where we can start to have some conversation, start to change minds. And we actually have changed a few minds with this group. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few testimonies actually out there that we've actually been, in contact with and seen firsthand happen. But, even though we don't allow a lot of that stuff, in the group, there's a place for it. Because some of those things, we need to be talking about those things. Absolutely.
We need to be talking about those hard subjects. We need to be talking about the things we disagree on. We can't just keep pushing them under the rug, Those things have to be talked about. But we also need a safe place that people can come and be built up, not tore down.
Yeah.
So, and that's a lot about what this group is about. Now, we'll talk about it here in a little bit, but one of the goals has been for us to create a place also that we can have those discussions, be able to talk about those hard subjects.
We need those things. We need to have a place where people on opposite sides can come together and rationalize their views like adults, not get triggered, and not complain and not be all emotional, but where we can rationalize our viewpoints.
And that's a tough deal for everyone, for the most part, because it's, especially in today's culture and just the way our society is and stuff, it's easy to get triggered.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us face that.
And we're told it's okay.
Yeah.
Hollywood tells us it's okay. Yeah. The music that we listen to tells us it's okay. Yeah. It's normalized.
Yeah, no, it's easy to get triggered. But the way to prevent that is to create healthy avenues for us to discuss and talk through and work through those issues, so that they don't become triggers. If you don't want a gun to kill somebody, don't put it in a bad guy's hands.
Yeah.
You know?
And don't
You know?
keep it out of the good guys' hands.
Yeah. Don't put the trigger in the wrong place. So,
Come on. Well, let me ask you, because you recently celebrated being sworn into law enforcement 30 years ago.
Originally, yep.
And first of all, thank you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But 3.5 years ago, you saw the need for something. And because of that need, you started Bridge the Blue. So talk a little bit about the heartbeat behind Bridge the Blue. Why was it so important for you to start an organization like this? And, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And we got so many new people in the group. They'd love to hear it as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm the type of guy that if I see something and I see something wrong, an issue, etc., it's really hard for me to sit on the couch and just watch that issue happening and complain about it and whine and so forth. I've just gotten to a point in my life where I don't want to be the one on the couch sitting and whining,
right,
and complaining. If I see a problem and there's an avenue for me to help with that problem,
yeah,
then I'm going to do whatever I can to do my part.
Yeah.
Then I feel like at least I have a voice, if nothing else, because I am going hands on. I am trying to do my part, So that all that said, I seen an issue, and I began to see more and more divide happening between law enforcement and the community. Man, when I was growing up, not to get on a bunny trail here, but when I was growing up, I used to dream. I was 5 years old. I remember being 5 years old. And I used to beg my mom and dad, to buy me a little policeman uniform.
Yeah.
And there was one, I can't remember, it was J.C. Penney's or Sears catalog or what it was, but I remember it was a big old thick catalog that would come out every year. And they had a little boy in there with a little policeman uniform. And man, I used to beg them to buy that for me. But they never would, they never spent the money. We weren't really wealthy in any way growing up. And it was just money they couldn't spend. But I was bound and determined to get my own uniform someday. And I eventually did. I got sworn in on my 21st birthday.
Come on.
And that was 30 years ago this last year.
You know what I wanted to be whenever I was smaller?
What do you want to be?
I wanted to be a rock star.
Rock star.
Yeah.
I did see you
We
playing
see how
guitar
that
a little while ago.
We see how that turned out.
So.
But you actually followed through.
I did. I was determined to get that uniform and that badge, and but at the same time, I wanted to go in and experience the military because my dad was in the military. So I ended up, and I don't recommend this to anybody, but I literally dropped out of high school in the 11th grade. So I could get my GED and go into the Army at that point.
Well, that maybe explains a little bit.
But it was good. It was such a good experience. But I did get out in time to get sworn in, literally on my 21st birthday, and got that uniform. So, but anyway, all that to say, over the years, I've seen where kids and so forth, they used to dream of being a policeman or a firefighter or an EMT.
What happened to that?
A hero of some kind and so forth. But as time has gone on, there's just this more and more this divide, and you don't see or hear that near as much from kids nowadays.
No.
And it's because, I believe it's because of what's being put into their heads.
Yeah.
I still think that law enforcement officers, firefighters, EMS, our medical people, these are our heroes of our country.
Yeah.
More
absolutely.
than anybody else out there, I believe these are our heroes.
100%.
And we need to be, supporting them and doing everything we can. So to answer your question, as I seen this divide happening more and more and more, I was like, okay, what can I do? So.
And there weren't really a whole lot of organizations out there trying to bridge that divide.
No, and there still isn't a whole lot of organizations out there doing that. There's great organizations, some amazing organizations that are out there, backing the blue and supporting them and in so many different ways. They're incredible, but there's not a lot of organizations at all that are working both sides of the fence in a sense to see those two merge and come together.
Come on, that's good.
Because we can support this side, we can support this side, all we want. But if we're not working on bringing those two sides together, we still have division.
Yeah.
And nothing's being solved. we're just kind of putting Band-Aids on things, or, maybe even creating infection, even more, and making things worse. So that's why I started Bridge to Blue. What can I do? What can we do to see that bridge, built between the two?
And I can tell you from experience, guys, the last 3.5 years have been one crazy ride.
Yeah.
One crazy ride, especially last year. Last year was probably our busiest year to date. Mm-hmm. And you guys are living proof of that. I'm still amazed, 107,000 people in this community. But we've also seen probably the most good come out of this year.
Yeah.
And there's some things that we actually have done. I think it was, what was it? It was after October the 10th. Around October the 10th was the last Blue Crew Live that we kind of did like this together. But a lot of people might be wondering, well, has Bridge the Blue been silent? And absolutely not. No. So what are some of the things, Troy, that Bridge the Blue has taken part in over the last few months? Because we've kind of stepped out of the we did two nationwide rallies last year. Just phenomenal the way that you guys showed up in support of our law enforcement. We did on 9/11, we did a big event with Lee Greenwood. It was a free concert, celebrated our first responders, law enforcement, military, and our veterans. We had an event in Missouri, in Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. That was a whole lot of fun. Met a lot of amazing people. We had Trapped and Pryor and Lee there. But here over the last few months, we've been focusing a little bit more local. Mm-hmm. And what are some of the things that Bridge to Blue has been up to?
Yeah. Well, we kind of changed up a little bit in trying to do a little bit more local stuff as much as we can, because that created us the ability to be in the office more and focus on what do we want to do the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we kind of slowed down a little bit, pulled back a little bit, and just kind of refocused a little, and have been working on what does the next 24 months look like. But in that time, in the local stuff, we've had several organizations that have come to us, and we'll give an example of one, and said, hey, we want you guys to be our nonprofit that we sponsor and we push. So one of those we've done several events with now. It's called Big Top Entertainment. Mm-hmm. And I encourage you to look these guys up online. They put on community events all over the place, and
help bring small local businesses together.
Yeah, they're bringing the entrepreneurs together in a big market.
Supporting the free market, supporting capitalism.
Yep, they got live music, the whole kit and caboodle. But it's a fun organization. They really do things well. I gotta say that about them. They got it down to the detail, and they do it well.
I know they treat us really well.
Yes, they do. So it's been fun to work with some of those organizations like that the last few months. We've also, as you've probably seen online earlier, one of the things that we've done in the last few years that we just absolutely love, and we're starting to work with more and more and more ISDs in doing this, but is Shop with a Cop. I'm telling you, I love that program.
Holiday Heroes, yep.
I love it. We start out the evening taking these 70 kids or whatever it is, that are not going to have a Christmas at all, literally, without someone stepping up to the plate and helping them out. And so we match them up with a police officer from different departments, and we all go out to dinner. We take them out to dinner. We sit with them, we spend time with them, we laugh with them, we arm wrestle with them, just have a great time together. And literally we pack out the restaurant. So, and then as soon as that's done, we load everybody on buses and travel to, Academy Sports and outdoors. And we send them on a shopping spree.
Yeah.
Again, matched up with a police officer or two, and they go around that store and they've got a certain dollar amount they get to spend. And, man, I love it. The smiles on their faces. But you know what gets me even more is, and I've seen this multiple times now over the last few years, that these kids will go shopping, they'll get to the checkout, and when you watch what they're getting, they're not even getting something for themselves.
Yeah.
They're thinking of their family members who aren't going to have Christmas, either.
That's so humbling.
So
wow.
I'm telling you, it just grabs my heart. But man, I love that. I love that. And to see these guys and gals coming together, creating this little event, it's not huge, but it's powerful because it's, 4 or 5 hours that these guys get to spend talking and laughing and building relationship. And there's been so many great testimonies of kids that have changed their attitude, towards law enforcement because of their experience with them.
And what really, because I got the honor and privilege of joining Troy this year, and it was very humbling to see everything that happened last year with all the civil unrest and all that stuff, but then to actually see not only Leos of every race, color, and creed,
everyone
coming together with children of every race, color, and creed. And I can tell you that generosity doesn't know skin color. Yeah. Love doesn't know skin color.
Come on.
Service doesn't know skin color. It doesn't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
And you got to do a couple of interviews with some amazing people. And I was just blown away at the caliber of law enforcement that these school districts, Klein ISD, in Spring, Spring Independent School District as well. Just the caliber of officers willing to serve, and just blew me away.
Yeah. It's an amazing program. So that's one of the things we've been doing. I mean, just this last weekend, we were in Waco, Texas, and had great conversations with a lot of the people that was coming through there. I'm sure most of you have heard that, they had recently in, previous 24 hours before that, had a trooper that was shot right there in their community. And so, it was really good timing for us to be there.
For sure.
Had a lot of good time. Got to pray with several people. It was just a great time. But, one of the things I liked most about that, and this may seem little and, not that big a deal to some people, but there was a little boy. His mom brought him over to the table, and I had the Bridge the Blue vehicle there, with the lights on and everything, and it's equipped with sirens and stuff too, and this little boy was just like me, in the sense that his mom said that's all he talks about. He wants to be a police officer.
Wanted to be a police officer.
But he had never been in a patrol car or anything like that. And I just let him crawl in there and play with the sirens for a while, and make sure everybody was awake at the event.
And we got a picture of you. I'm going to post that picture because I got a picture of you, and that was really, really cool.
But his mom came back later, and said, man, he was so excited and so happy. She said he will probably never forget that few moments of time. And so I love that stuff because we've got to take time. We've got to take time and do what we need to do. And that's building a bridge, even at that young age.
And then, this past weekend we were in Waco. Last month we were in Conroe. I think we've got 1 or 2 more this year, if I remember correctly, looking at the schedule.
Yeah, there's several coming up.
And so, we'll make sure to let you guys know about that. We'd love to have you come out and join us for those events. We also did a toy drive as well, and that toy drive was just a huge success. And we're getting ready here in the coming weeks to start a fundraiser for a police department out of Georgia. They're trying to get their K-9 unit up and running. So we've been working with them over the last couple of months, getting things in order, and we're getting ready to start a fundraiser for those guys. And so those are some of the ways that we help bridge the gap. Right. Yeah. And so we, of course, we do a lot of things here local, but we also try to do things with other departments nationwide because, at the end of the day, our blue family is a blue family from coast to coast.
Yeah. It doesn't matter where.
And so, but, well, is there anything else you want to talk about as far as?
I just want to say, on that, that, as far as the police department in Georgia, it's a smaller department. It's not huge by any means. and their tax revenue is just it doesn't carry everything.
Yeah.
No. And there's no way for them to be able to afford getting their own canine unit established. It's just not cost effective. There's no way for them to happen. So
and that's actually happening in states all over the nation.
Oh yeah, all over the nation. So so when we can come in and help with that, for example, I mean, there's over 100,000 people on here right now, and if everybody just gave just a few cents, literally a few cents, not even $1, we could have their entire canine unit established, set up, trained, everything.
Yeah.
For a few cents. So I just love to see it when people come together, because when people come together, things can happen. Things change.
Yeah.
And it's just super, super exciting. So I'm excited to see what happens with these guys.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I just want to bless them.
I'm pretty stoked. Well, of course, the name of this video was Firearms, Masks, and a lot of new folks. We talked about the new folks. We talked about where we've been, where we're at. We're going to, talk a little bit about where we're going. But before that, well, part of that actually is firearms and masks. And I'm looking for a third thing. Oh my.
Forgiving folks.
Yeah, no, it's been a while since we've done one of these. I'm out of my cadence. So we've seen a lot of conversations. We've received a lot of personal or private messages, and what we've noticed is, last year, guys, and actually it's really been over the last several years. We have seen a ton of videos all over social media that's only showing a small fraction of what's going on, completely out of context. We don't have all the information. And what's happening is that's getting blasted out to people, and those people are watching those videos and coming to a conclusion without all of the facts.
Yeah.
And what it's done is it's created division. That's the whole reason why Bridge the Blue exists now, because we have to get people into a place where they can see the truth. And now we're having to fight even harder, because it's no longer just, one here, one there. It's everywhere you look. Here we are a year later from last year. Last year, we had all the civil unrest. We saw all these videos, saw all these things happening. And now here we are, fast forward a year later, and we have the same thing happening, only now it's happening to us, to law enforcement supporters. And it's breaking my heart, because I'm getting a lot of people sharing videos with me of law enforcement officers that are enforcing mask mandates. They're writing tickets. They're taking people off of property. And I shouldn't say a lot. It's been very few, actually. I can honestly look you in the eye, Blue Crew, and tell you that I personally have never met a law enforcement officer that would ever enforce such ridiculousness. And most of the ones that I know, all of the ones that I personally know, are against it. Now, with that being said, Troy and I have both reviewed the videos, and we understand that there can be some like what the heck is going on? It's almost surreal. There's also been some fear, and I think Troy will talk a little bit about this bill that's kind of that's coming up. But there has been some concerns about how can I continue to support a profession where they're doing this. Now, here's the thing I want to make sure that I'm crystal clear on. It's not the masses, right? You're falling for the same BS that other people have fallen for in the past. Looking at one video and making a blanket statement about an entire profession based on onesies or twosies or threesies of videos. And I want to encourage you, Blue Crew, we can't do that. We got to take the high road. We have to understand that, yes, there are going to be pockets in the country, just like there are pockets in the country where they are a little more prejudiced or even maybe racist. Not saying law enforcement, but just people in general. That's going to happen. But America as a nation, we're not systemically racist. And in the same way, law enforcement across the board as a profession, they're not really after your guns. They're not really wanting to enforce these mask mandates. And so these are a couple of topics that we're going to be hitting on in the future. We're not going to do a deep dive today for time's sake, but we're going to individually dissect topics just like these, and we're going to have a discussion around them. And we are still in the process of putting together a panel because we don't want it to just be Troy and I. We want there to be several. Now, just full disclosure, the likelihood that we're going to get an active Leo to join us on the panel is typically it's pretty slim because their departments won't let them do that. They see it as, politicking or what have you. But we have a lot of former law enforcement, retired, maybe some that are even part-time that could get away with it, where we can have a roundtable discussion on the topic, and we're still putting that together. The thing is that we don't want to but anything. We want to make sure that we're bringing you the absolute best content because we believe that you guys deserve that. And so we want to have those hard conversations.
And again, we want people at the table from both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have both sides, then it's just a gossip session for the most part, in my opinion.
A gossip session and a big old echo chamber.
Yeah. So there's got to be both sides represented.
Correct.
But this is something that we've been working towards, for the last year or so, creating these forums, creating a way for these topics to happen. And, another one of the topics that you hinted towards, is this new gun bill that they're trying to pass. Mm-hmm. What's that mean not only for individual citizens, but what's that mean for our Leos and our Leo families? Because if something got passed, we're just going to leave it at that. But that's good. That's going to be a topic that we're going to be bringing up here real soon in this forum, and just having some good discussion from some great people, and what does that mean? For all of us,
and what
Leos
is it
and non-Leos,
and what is it like to be in a profession that you feel called to? Many times it's you feel like it's God's calling on your life. You do it to give back to your community, but then you're faced with a decision that it's like, is there a right and wrong decision? And if so, what are those decisions? See, it's really easy for us to sit in the back seat as citizens. And I can say this because I am a citizen. He still does law enforcement part-time. As a citizen, I can definitely say it's really easy for us to sit in the back seats and criticize the driver and how they're driving, and whenever they're actually doing something to make a difference, whenever they actually have life and death decisions to make that are going to impact themselves as well as their families and other families in their communities, it's really easy for us to sit in the back seat and be critical. Yeah. But we're not the ones being faced with these decisions. So we want to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And
the other thing we'd like to do is ask you to let us know what topics are important to you.
Yeah.
What would you like us to talk about,
And you can let us know in the comments below. Mm-hmm. Just share some of the topics. Share some of the topics, because we want to know, what is it that you want to know about? What is it that you would like to see us discuss? And that's actually the announcement that we're coming towards the end here. That's actually the announcement, is we're going to be doing these, guys, every Tuesday at noon. Every Tuesday at noon, we're gonna be going live here in the group, and most Tuesdays. Now, there might be a time where we might have to parking lot it or reschedule it. But Tuesdays at noon, that's what we're shooting for. We're going to be going live every single week to talk about some of these issues.
And some of those will just be Lee and I, and some of those will actually have the forum together in that group at that time. So it's going to look a little different from week to week, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So make sure and let us know what topics are heavy on your heart and that you'd like to have us discuss here on the show. So a couple other things I want to make sure and bring up. This last year, we announced that we're going to do the first ever Bridge to Blue cruise.
Yep. Forgot about that.
Because of the pandemic stuff, our cruise dates keep getting pushed back and back and back and back again.
I love how you do that.
So, so at this point, the Bridge to Blue cruise has been pushed back to 2022. There's no way we can get that group together on a cruise in 21, is what we're being told. So,
and even though we know there's a big push to reopen the cruise industry, the sheer mass of how big, I mean, 200 Leos, guys, it's too much to try to plan in such a short period of time and to make arrangements for financially.
Well, and on top of that, there's people from all over the globe that are wanting to go on these cruises that have been scheduled for a year or two. That keep getting backed up and pushed out too, so and they ain't happy. So it's created a little bit of a storm, as far as making it difficult. So, I'll tell you what's funny, not to get sidetracked. What's funny is that we can scrunch together, in a fuselage of a jet and it's fine, but we can't go on a cruise. Come on. You love me. Come here. So, But you can't get on a cruise line in the open air, an open sea where you have plenty of room, and somehow that's not okay. But it's okay to be in a small little compact fuselage in a giant can opener with wings. All right, bunny trail. Hey, I mean, that's all I've got for today. Again, I just want to say, man, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
And so excited to be active again as far as, doing these shows or videos, whatever you want to call them. But it's exciting to see what the coming months are going to bring. And, once again, I just want to say thank you to all our Leos, all our first responders,
absolutely,
and families. We appreciate each and every one of you. We could not do it without you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, guys, one last thing. So if you have yet to join our Blue Crew email list, and here's why you're going to want to join our Blue Crew email list, is because you're going to miss out on some important things that we're going to be announcing as far as these topics, as far as what we're going to be talking about in the group over the coming weeks. So you want to make sure you go to bridgetheblue.com and just scroll down just maybe a quarter of the way down the page. You'll see join the Blue Crew or something along those lines. You enter your name, your email address. We're not going to spam you. All we're going to do is give you updates on various things. And whenever we run a promo on our site, because one of the ways that we raise money is we sell apparel. And so whenever we run a promo, we'll give you a little coupon code where you can save 10%, 15%, something like that on an order. But that's about it. And then you're also going to get kind of a look at what Bridge the Blue is really about. And we're going to take you by the hand, take you step by step as soon as you subscribe and join our Blue Crew email list. So again, go to bridgetheblue.com to do that. That way you do not miss out. We are on all the social channels. So we're here on Facebook, we're on Insta, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube. And so we have content on all of those places. Would love to connect with you there as well. If you have yet to like our Facebook page, see, this is a group. You're in the group right now. If you haven't gone and liked our Facebook page, go ahead and make sure you go there and give us a like. And so with that, guys, if you are...
I got to throw one more nugget out there.
Okay, come on, bring it.
I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. And I'm not going to say much because technically I can't yet. But Bridge to Blue has been working on an actual TV show.
Yeah.
That will be getting started here real soon. Everything's in the planning stage right now and putting all the pieces together. But and I can't really tell you what the show is going to be about yet. But I'm telling you, it's that bridge that we're talking about, and it's going to be super exciting. So
it's going to be good.
So I'm just throwing that nugget out there to end with. So
yeah, no, it's going to be good. So if you enjoyed today, just go ahead and pound the like, the heart button. Go ahead and drop a comment. We're going to go ahead and jump off of here. It's good to be back, Troy. It's good to be back, my brother. Right. So we love you guys, and God bless.
Thank you.